Welcome to class once again. Oluwafe Mathematics on your screen. So today we'll be considering sequence and series. Now, what do we mean by sequence and what do we mean by series? Sequence is when numbers are arranged. Let's say, for example, you have this. When they are arranged in orderly manner, that is what we refer to as sequence. So this is an example of sequence. This is another example of sequence. They are arranged in orderly manner. That is, it's just like, what's the difference between this and this? Like, there's something that's actually related number and the first term, the third number and the second term, and it's still the same thing that relates to the second term and the first term. So because they are arranged in that manner, that's what we refer to as sequence. So these are actually sequence. They are sequence. And then we have what we refer to as series. Series is the sum of a sequence. Series is the sum, a sum. So that is sum, or you can use summation of sequence. So you have a sequence. The summation of this, like, so we can have this as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. So this can actually continue, plus 5 plus ... This is what we refer to as series. Then for this other one, still the same thing. 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus ... So there's the continuation for that. That is what we refer to as series rather. And then we have what we call sequence. So that's the difference between both of them. Now, what will we be considering under sequence and series? So I want us to consider what we refer to as AP and GP. AP and GP is actually a very common topic in mathematics, especially for Jambites, YX students, AP and GP. So what's the meaning of AP and what's the meaning of GP? So let's consider each of them. So we have AP. AP is arithmetic progression. So this is what we refer to as AP, arithmetic. Under this, we have what we call the sequence, and we have what we refer to as the sum. Series also, we say the sum under. Now, but what is arithmetic progression? Now, arithmetic progression means that this is a form of sequence in which each term is gotten by the addition of a common difference. Each term, so each of the term in an arithmetic progression is gotten by the addition of a common difference. So if you are going to get any of the term, just add a common difference to it, then you are going to get what we refer to as arithmetic progression. We have the formula, which is Tn equals to what? A plus n minus 1d. Now each of these have what they stand for. This Tn means the nth term, A the first term, that's mean first term, N is number of terms, and D is what? Common difference. So like we said, in a sequence, it's just the first number we said is what? Is the first term. So that is A. That's the first term. So when we say first term means that the first number in a sequence, that's what we refer to as the first term. Therefore, the first term is A. Now, we said that arithmetic progression deals with when the addition of a common difference to each term. So as you add the addition of a common difference, as you add the common difference to the first term, you have the second term. When you add the difference to the second term, you have the third term rather. When you add your common difference to your third term, you also have the fourth term. So that's how it was there. The second term is going to be A plus D. your third term is going to be a plus d already plus d, and then the fourth term will be a plus d plus d plus d, and so on as they continue. So this is going to be a comma this a plus d, then you have what, a plus 2d, then we have a plus 3d, and so on like that. So they are going to proceed until we get to the last term that you are going to look for in your particular question. So this is what we actually refer to as the sequence of AP. Now you can also have a formula whereby when you are given the last term, when you know your last term, that is, when you know your last term for your particular question, knowing your last term is also something that is very, very good for you, so that you can be able to get your answer. So therefore your last term is going to be a plus n minus 1d. See the same formula? It's just because you know your last term. That is the last term that you are given according to the question. So where L is equals to last term. So this is what we mean. Let's say we write our sequence. You have write A, then we have A plus D, right? Yes, A plus 2D. So it means it's going to get to a point whereby we'll get to the last term, and then that last term is what we refer to as L. So that is what we mean from what we are talking about here. And this is about the sequence of an AP. So let's move to series of an AP, and let's check when you are looking for the sum or the summation of an AP. The summation of an AP, series of AP. Now the formula for series of AP, very simple. Just write S, you can write S subscript M, N. It's signifying the series with respect to N. Then you have N over 2, then open a bracket, you have what? Now, so this way is going to give you 2 starts with N equals to N over 2, 2a plus 1 bracket N minus 1d. Yes, this is the formula for series of an arithmetic progression. Now, what does series mean? Series means that addition of all the sequence. That is, we said we have the first term, the second term, the third term. So therefore, series says that it's going to be a plus d plus a plus 2d plus the remaining. So this is what we refer to as our series. So this is what series is actually working about. Now, let's assume that you have your last term. You already have your last term in your sequence. I'm trying to say that. So therefore, you can break this down as n. Let's say you have this. You have a plus d plus dot dot dot. So you get to a point whereby you get to your last term. Now, this is what your sum is going to be. Your sum. Now we call that your sum is n over 2. Then you can now break this down to equals to a plus 1 bracket n minus 1d. Now recall that your last term is what? Your last term is a plus n minus 1d according to the formula I gave before. Here you have your L to be equals to a plus n minus 1d. So we call this formula. So you come back here, replace this with your last term. So therefore, you have your Sn equals to n over 2 a plus L. So this is the formula when you have your last term, and when you don't have your last term, this is the formula you actually use. Very simple and very straightforward for you to do. Your common difference for AP is going to be the second term minus first term. So this is how to get our common difference, usually represented as D. This is usually denoted as t. And then we get this. It can be third term minus second term, fourth term minus third term. That's how it actually works, and that's how we get your arithmetic progression. So thank you for following us in this video. Do well to subscribe and follow us in our next video. Bye.